The mess hall buzzed with morning chatter, but to Kael, every voice felt like sandpaper against his skull. He sat hunched over his breakfast tray, untouched protein paste congealing beside equally untouched synthetic fruit. Around him, 200 cadets shared tables, laughed at inside jokes, planned their day. And every single resonant triggered the thing in his head. Signal detected, resonant class, conductor, power level, high. Marcus Chen walked past carrying his tray. The notification flickered across Kael's vision, gone almost before he could process it. Signal detected, resonant class, seer, power level, low. A girl he didn't recognize. 13, maybe 14. Probably just manifested. Signal detected, resonant class, phasewalker, power level, moderate. Signal detected, resonant class, conductor, power level, exceptional. That last one made Kael's head snap up. Sable Voss had entered the mess hall, her luminescent tattoos dim but still visible beneath her regulation shirt. She moved with the easy confidence of someone who'd never doubted her place in the world. The notifications kept coming. A constant stream of analysis, categorization, measurement. His brain felt like a radio stuck between stations, picking up fragments of every signal within range. You look like hell. Ren dropped into the seat across from him, juggling a cup of coffee and a breakfast bar. Didn't sleep? Not much. Kael rubbed his temples, but the gesture did nothing to quiet the digital noise in his head. Bad dreams. That wasn't entirely a lie. He dozed fitfully, only to wake every hour with new text scrolling across his vision. Status updates. System diagnostics. And something else that had appeared around 3 in the morning, glowing softly in the darkness of his room. Hunger, 5/100. A counter. Like a fuel gauge, but measuring something he didn't understand and wasn't sure he wanted to. Maybe you should see Dr. Chen again, Ren suggested between bites of his breakfast bar. Zone exposure can have delayed effects. Signal detected, resonant class, Weaver, power level, moderate. The notification tagged a passing cadet, and Kael's hands twitched involuntarily. Some part of him, the hungry thing that had awakened in the zone, whispered that he could reach out. Touch. Take. The voice wasn't his, but it felt increasingly familiar. I'm fine. The lie tasted bitter. Just adjusting to salvage work. Ren's expression sharpened behind his glasses. You sure? Because you've been acting weird since you got back. Jumpy. Distracted. And you keep staring at people like you're cataloging them. Heat crept up Kael's neck. Was he that obvious? I failed my FAT 3 times, Ren. That's going to mess with anyone's head. This isn't about the test. Ren leaned forward, lowering his voice. Yesterday you made eye contact with people. Today you can barely look at me without flinching. Hunger, 7/100. The counter had climbed while he wasn't paying attention. The number pulsed gently, like a heartbeat made visible. A group of younger cadets passed their table, chattering about an upcoming training exercise. 3 resonants among them. The notifications cascaded. Signal detected, resonant class, conductor. Signal detected, resonant class, Weaver. Signal detected, resonant class, Seer. Kael's vision swam. Too much information. Too many voices speaking in a language of numbers and classifications. He gripped the edge of the table until his knuckles went white. I need some air. He stood abruptly, nearly knocking over his untouched tray. Several nearby cadets glanced in his direction, and each look triggered another notification. The mess hall suddenly felt impossibly crowded, as if the walls were closing in. Kael, wait. But he was already moving, pushing through the crowd toward the exit. The main corridor offered no relief. Resonance everywhere, walking to classes, heading to training, just existing in his proximity and making the thing in his head scream with constant analysis. He found himself on the observation deck, the same place he'd stood yesterday watching his name appear on the assignment board. The wind helped clear his thoughts, though it did nothing to quiet the notifications. Ren appeared beside him 5 minutes later, slightly out of breath. "Okay, talk to me. And don't say you're fine, because we both know that's bullshit." Kael stared out at the Cascade Zone. From here, the wrongness looked almost beautiful, reality twisted into shapes that shouldn't exist, painted in colors that had no names. Yesterday it had seemed alien, threatening. Now it felt familiar. Like coming home. What if the FAT results were wrong? The words came out before he could stop them. What if something changed? Changed how? I don't know. But what if I'm not non-resonant anymore? Ren was quiet for a long moment. Then, that's not how it works. Resonance doesn't just appear overnight. You either have it or you don't. Hunger, 12/100. The counter pulsed brighter. And with it, something new appeared in his vision, text that made his blood run cold. Recommended action, drain nearest signal source. Kael didn't know what drained meant. But he felt the pull anyway, a gravity that wanted to drag him back toward the crowded corridors where resonance moved like walking batteries, unaware they were being hunted by something wearing his face.